this is the sensor of this camera now. So this camera sensor determines the size of the sensor. Now you can see this sensor. Do you think the sensor in this camera will be the same size as the sensor in this camera? So the sensor in this camera can achieve some blurriness. This one can never. It's too small to be able to naturally achieve any blurriness. So what they now do is to use software. That's why initially, when iPhone was already like doing it well, Techno, all generally improved now. You understand? But they are all software thing. So depending on the quality of your software to identify the edge of what it is filming, it will now apply the portrait mode to. So when the first set of cameras that could do portrait mode, what they were actually doing is that they would take the picture, try to outline the subject and blur the remaining. But it cannot be natural, because the real blurry effect, I will show you, because this camera should, because the real baba of blur effect is sensors that are even bigger than this one's own. They call them full frame cameras. They are typically more expensive and stuff. So this is like a balance between I don't want to use a phone and I don't have money for full frame. So you stay on Micro Four Thirds, like a Lumix space kind of thing. So the blurry background is a function of multiple things. So let me try and achieve some level of, it's just this light leak thing. You can feel it. Can you? So let me ensure we're at 2 points. So I'm at 2.8. And then if I do this, he is in focus, and Adia Aisha is not in focus. Am I right? Or is he even in focus? The light is giving the guy a problem. So let me drop the. So the natural one is that let me pick. So what you will see is that there is different level of blurriness between the first person and Malang Awal. And then the blurriness between him and Halal is not as much as. So that's the gradation. Is the more you move away, the blurrier it's supposed to be, because it's naturally happening because of the characteristics of the lens. So this one this is the natural flow of the blurriness. But what phones do is just take only him and blur everybody. So that's why it just feel like waiting happen. It can feel one kind very quickly, the phone one, but they are improving it and trying to make it better. Is where we have given it a relation that is contrast. It is blurry contrast, because one is sharp, the other is blurry. But it's definitely a creative tool. It's a very important tool. It's a useful tool when you can do it, whereby one part is in focus, and then that is like the contrast. Because if you put somebody in a bright dress in front of a dark background, the person will pop out well, especially if, as the brightness is contrasting, the colors are also contrasting. Because if I take a dark dress now, and I stay on this kind of background, even though there is contrast, but the colors are not interesting. The colors are not interesting. Maybe this kind of ash kind of thing might look nice, maybe on some light blue kind of background. So there will be both a color contrast and a brightness contrast. You get? So if you now on top of that now add blurry, that's sharpness or focus contrast also. I mean, it's like mixing the best of everything together to get a very strong image.